Yo, welcome back, R&V Family. I am your host, Tarius Knight. We rebranding, and this is Rhythm and Views. That's right, man. This is your home for reactions and music entertainment. We also try to highlight the independent artists and also the small business. So if you're either one of those, you fit either one of them boxes, send us your information or your music to rhythmandviewsshow@gmail.com. And we're gonna get it on for you because it's just that simple. That's what we do. We support over here, man. We try to support the music, we try to support the art, we try to support the hustle, whatever it is you're doing, man. So happy Friday to everybody out there. What we're gonna do is we're gonna do something a little bit different. So I got the chance to be on the Mad Slap podcast. Y'all have heard me talk about them over and over again over the last weeks or whatever. And it's a hip hop show, and they some homies of mine. They've been on some of my records and stuff like that. And we're gonna discuss the music industry. We're gonna discuss what's it like to be an independent artist, being in the music industry, what's some of the things that we've been through, what we're doing now, and where we plan to go in the future. And I just thought it might be an interesting discussion for y'all. So this is my interview on the Mad Slap podcast with your host, Mad Hatter. So let's jump into that real quick. But before we do, let's do this. Yeah, so that's a little intro and stuff like that. Yo, this show is brought to you by and is sponsored by R&V Media. R&V Media is a company where we specialize in helping you grow your business through marketing, video marketing. So, we can do an interview for you. We can do a social media ad for you. We do voiceovers. We do all different types of things. We do commercials, all different types of things for social media to get your business and help your business grow. So that's what R&V Media is. And so that's what it is. Information on the screen, blah, 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 and all that kind of stuff. You already know what to do. So without any further delay, let's get into this interview with the Mad Slap podcast.
Yo, what's going on, people? It's Mad Hatter and the Mad Slap podcast, episode 11, getting it done, doing the work, hustling, still at it. Right now, I'm about to say that my homeboy Slap Turner's taking a little break right now, but we still got somebody that's going to step in and handle business for Slap Turner, just like he handled business on our album Euphoria. My homeboy Tarius, what's up?
Yo, Mad Slap podcast. Glad to be here, man. I'm excited, man. How you doing?
Say that 10 times, man.
I know, right? It's crazy. I'm already messing up. I've only been here 2 seconds, already messing up.
That's all right, man. I mean, that's just part of the reality of this podcast. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Because you never know where it's gonna go.
I tried to edit some shit before. I got my hand slapped by Slap. He didn't like. He didn't like that I was editing some stuff out. So we just gonna go.
That's where he got the name from, man. You gotta be careful. He slap you.
Exactly. So for those that don't know, Tarius, we work together on many projects. Some that I haven't finished yet. Which
let's not even get into that.
let's not get into my procrastination issues, but anyways, Tarius, tell the people a little bit about what you do, man.
Yeah, man. I wear many hats. Kind of like one of those situations where it's like, if you can't get somebody to do it, then do it yourself. And that's kind of like been my motto for years and years. Started off being a singer, songwriter, even did some production back in the day, which I'm actually thinking about going back to doing that. But yeah, so singer, songwriter, music production, arranger, graphic designer. I also have a show. I do video. How could I forget? I do video production right now too. I got a company. It's called R&V Videos, and we do anything from music videos to commercials to interviews to you name it. We do it, and so we do that stuff. And also I've started I guess you could say my own podcast too, but I don't necessarily call it a podcast because all I have is like the video version right now. But the Rhythm and Views show, as you might see here in the information, the Rhythm and Views show, where we talk about R&B music. It's almost like the opposite of what you guys do here. It's like, we cover R&B music but we do cover some hip hop, and we do do some we do some pop. But we do video reactions over there, and we support like one of the main things about the show is that we support independent artists. Like we play hip hop music too, so we support independent artists over there. We're trying to create like a one-stop shop, I guess you can say, of creatives, because not only do we celebrate and we also shine light on like independent artists, but we also shine light on independent, or not independent, I keep saying independent, but it's small business owners. So if you have, I don't know, if you got a corner store, if you got a book that you're trying to put out, if you're a painter, we'll also, you send us the information, we'll talk about it, we'll support that. Because like I said, we just kind of want to be like a one-stop shop of entertainment, and that's kind of like the whole gambit of all the things that I do. I wear many hats, and it eats up my day.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Tarius does do a lot of different. He does wear a lot of different hats, and I applaud that. I commend that. The grind is real. The hustle is real with this guy. He's literally, got his hand in all of it, and that's dope. Because if you want to make sure that things get done right, you got to do them done right. You got to do them yourself, right? So But the videos we have videos that he's done, filmed for us. He's got Ride,
FOS baby,
FOS, Black Magic, Cut It, and then of course, like I said, Ride. We're featuring.
We got some more coming too. Don't forget, we got some more coming.
And that's gonna be what we let the world know. We're gonna do some videos for projects that we're doing, and a video for my Mad World album. So those are all coming in the works. Summertime's gonna be where we really hit the ground running. We'll put the links in, down in the comments and everything, so everybody can check it out. And we always say this at the end, but we should start saying it now. Support, like, subscribe, comment, talk to us. And for that, that's how we grow. And we gotta spread love. We gotta celebrate the independent people out there just trying to get their voices heard, and we know that there's huge machines that push some of these other artists, and there's some really, really talented individuals out there, Tarius being one of them,
Thank you, sir.
And of course myself, you know what I mean? Can't forget Matt had it out,
can't forget numero uno.
And so with that, we're gonna move right into what I always like to do. Like this is the today in hip hop history, really quickly, is happy birthday, Be Real from Cypress Hill. It's
that's what's up
today. If
happy
you don't,
birthday.
Happy birthday, Be Real. If people don't know, they got a new album out. I mean, they're still grinding as old dudes like me, up there in their 50s, still doing music, still rapping, still doing shows, still just working and grinding and keeping that 90s hip hop alive.
I love that. I love that.
I support that big time.
Hey, Matt, not to cut you off, but do you think, because I was just thinking about this today, do you think that there's almost like a resurgence of that 90s music, whether it be hip hop or R&B? Because you see all these concerts now, Neo's out there, Usher been doing it, but Charlie Wilson, Jodeci, like you said, Be Real, Cypress Hill. Do you see like a resurgence of that good 90s music? They got whole tours where it's like nothing but 90s artists. Like, do you feel like it's coming back almost?
Yeah, interesting that you say that. There's a concert coming to Sandia. Sandia is a place here in Albuquerque, New Mexico, which is why I put up the balloons,
Balloon Fiesta.
Yeah, but no, Ashanti and Ja Rule are coming.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, that's good. But not only that, Nas is still dropping albums. Jay-Z's still going.
I love that.
Who's the newest one? Pusha T just dropped something. I mean, these are all guys that were from the 90s rappers. They're still dropping projects. And then the touring, of course. And I don't know about you, but I'm ready to see some of these artists out there again, kind of doing
absolutely.
And I do think there's a resurgence. I do think there's a resurgence. I think the talent is big, and I think the world is big, and there's a lane for everybody, man.
Yeah. I mean, when you look at all the right, exactly, and when you look at the fact that one of the things that makes me proud is the fact that, like, in our genre of music, that rock has been kind of something where it's like, those guys, they age, and it's like they don't miss a beat. They still go out there, they go on tour, and they still get all the love, and they get all the accolades and all that kind of stuff. Where it kind of seems like, to me, and I could be wrong, but it just feels like, with hip hop and R&B, it's almost like our guys get older. Oh man, you played out, man. Oh man, you out of here, man. Man, I don't want to hear that no more. What I mean? Where it's like we don't like really hold our older artists or our old school artists to a high esteem. These guys paved the way. You know what I'm saying? If it wasn't for a lot of them, a lot of these new artists wouldn't be here. We probably wouldn't be here. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, we should treat them and give them their flowers. Like Mary J. Blige just got her flowers just recently as an icon, and it's like they're just as good, if not better, than some of these rock acts. You know what I mean? Let's give them that love. Let's give them that respect, and still let's go to these concerts. Let's support. Let's buy their music. You know what I mean? Let's support them. Because they're still talented and they're still putting out great music. And I think right now there's almost like a thirst for that good music, you know what I mean? Because not to knock these young guys or anything like that, but I just feel like because I try not to be like, but I think we talked about this before. We don't be the old guys in the room, oh man, these young boys, they don't know what good music is, you know what I mean? Yeah. But I really believe that I'm not like that. I really believe that if it's good music, it's good music, and I just feel like there's a lack of good music out there right now. I don't care old or young, you know what I'm saying? But these young cats, like there's a lot of them that I feel this is not making good quality music, and I think there's a thirst for that.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right, and that's what I was saying. Like, and it's funny because we were doing our stuff almost right before that whole resurgence thing, where I started seeing more of the videos about Ashanti or Ja Rule. Little Kim out there. Obviously, the Super Bowl performance was chock full of a bunch of old school artists. And we don't look at them like that because they're famous. 50 Cent and Eminem, and so I mean, but just to see them all on that biggest stage was just sort of like saying we're still awesome. Here, we're still relevant. Right. And when me and Slap decided to do this, we decided to do it in the way we wanted to do it, which is just what I was used to doing. Not trying to change my style up to sound more like today, but more just do what I'm comfortable doing and just kind of allowing that music to be out there and see what the response is. And I mean, the response has been great. You know what I mean? Like for our stuff, I can't wait till we put some of the stuff that me and you are doing out. Take a shot. You know what I mean? That that's a banger. It was kind of a crazy record that just kind of came out of nowhere and has all this different stuff going on. So I think there's a super lane for it. And it's great that we can kind of piggyback off of that statement of giving the OGs their flowers, you know what I mean? I wanted to talk a little bit today since we have a bona fide R&B,
superstar in your presence. Phenomenal. You're welcome.
Writer, but writer, like I mean, I think for me, you got a great voice, man, and you know how to fucking do this shit. You really know how to do this shit, and I noticed that right off. But I know from being a writer in rap that it's not easy. And I noticed that when we would give you stuff to write, you come back with like just some smooth ass shit, like every single time. So I wanted you to talk a little bit about your early days, and then we'll move into kind of how we progressed and where you are now. Where everybody is now.
Yeah. Well, shoot, how far are we going back?
Okay, let me ask you a question. I'm interviewing, right? So. What got you? When did you realize like this is what I want to do? Like when did you realize you have pipes? You know what I mean? Like you could blow, like for real.
Yeah, that's a good question. That's a complex question too, because I would say the spark kind of started when I was real young, And you remember Motown 25, where Michael Jackson got on there, he did the moonwalk for the first time on national television, and he had the glove and everything. And I think that was the moment for me. And I was like, yo, like, this is crazy. Like, you know, I started looking at him as the icon that he was and still is. And it was just like, yo, this guy is just phenomenal. So it's like you started following him, and it's kind of like, as I got older, started wanting to do that myself. Okay, well, let me start writing my own songs, and let me start, you know, trying to create my own music. And that's really kind of how the love started going. So by the time I got into, like, you know, high school, me and my cousin, he was living with me at the time, and we, like I said, we would sit around just writing songs and stuff. And I remember trying to, you know, actually like sing, because we didn't have any idea like how to actually record stuff. So we put like the 2 tape decks together, and, like, you know, we would do our vocals here, but then we mix it with the music here. It was like super ghetto and stuff like that. But you know, we made it work. And yeah, that's when it first started, man. And you know, just you know, as time went on, you know, I started getting into, you know, different R&B groups, and I bounced around from group to group to group. But my last group was I started, which is called 120. And they're still doing stuff to this day too. Shout out to 120. We still collaborate. We did that, and that was where I had like the most, I guess you could say, the most success with music, because it was working with those guys that we got the opportunity to open up for so many great acts, man, like Case, Donnell Jones, John B. We got a chance to meet Marlon Jackson, legendary Marlon Jackson.
That must have been big.
Oh man, that was. Yeah, absolutely was, man. Just to be standing in the same room with this guy was just crazy.
Jackson, the Jackson 5, you know what I mean? Absolutely, yeah. And we even got a chance to sing with Mike McCary of Boyz II Men. We actually got the chance to sing with him on stage, so that was an experience all within itself, man. And that's another group that's out there like doing their thing, performing. Right,
Boyz II Men, right?
I just seen them, I think 2 years ago, right before the lockdown.
Yeah, absolutely. We matter of fact, we just went and saw New Edition recently too. They put on a good show. They came out here to Florida.
Just a disclaimer for the people out there, okay? Don't take a girl you don't plan on dating more than that one date to a Boyz II Men concert, because that love they singing, man, it just turned the ladies into jello.
They might steal your girl, man. You gotta watch out. It's a lucky thing I can sing, so you know.
Oh my God,
I'd be in trouble
too. They got hot hearts coming out of their eyes and shit. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah,
anyways, go back to what you're saying. I just had to think that.
Crap, what was I saying now? Yeah, so we were blessed to be on, you know, many different platforms. Like, we got a chance to be on BT, 106 in Park. If y'all remember 106 in Park, we got a chance to be on Wild Out Wednesdays. We got, you know, we were on national television, and we got a chance to be on NBC. We did Comcast telethons, you know, for I forget what it was for. Man, it was some illness. I can't remember what it was. It was a telethon for that. Yeah, man, I know there's a bunch of stuff I'm leaving out, but let's just say, you know, like a chance. I mean, I can say that we've been blessed to be on stage with many different great well-known artists, and got a chance to kind of like tour a little bit, you know, around the country. You know, been on TV and radio and stuff like that. So yeah, man, I got the experience. You know, we've been doing it for a while, and it's just, you have to love it, man. You have to love doing music, because, you know, there's gonna be so many times where, you know, somebody either tell you no, or shoot, how about let's just talk about the struggle, you know, from getting to A to B, paying for clothes, you know, getting your own shows, and just the whole thing, man. People have no idea what it takes to be an independent artist, man, because you don't have the big label behind you that's paying for everything, doing everything for you.
Yeah, and even in the beginning, it's rough, but it's that for me was the most beautiful part of being a rapper or an artist, because everything was out there. Like, you know, the sky was the limit at that point. Like, it was like I didn't have any weird feelings about it. You know, I didn't. You know, I wasn't. You know, like, we get jaded over time. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. You definitely do.
It's just like, make it. You know, I'm gonna do these songs, and it's fun, and Like you said in the beginning, I mean, I have a line in one of my songs where I say, rapping in closets while dreaming of stretch limos. At the Gavin,
that's what it is.
Asking people, please listen to my demo, you know, and
yeah,
that, I mean, but that was all part of the hustle. That was all part of me feeling that I was out there working towards becoming what I wanted to be in life. And even though I didn't make it, you know, to be a famous rapper or anything like that, you know, I'm still proud of the fact that I went for it. And like that's probably the one thing that I always say is that you can never take that away, that because a lot of people, they want to do something and they don't go for it at all. They go, they go to a 9-to-5 job and they don't even pursue anything that they have passion for. And so I know that I pursued I know we're still pursuing it. But
we're still
I don't think I'm on the level of Mr. Many Hats over here. You know what I mean? really, you know, that's just doing all of these different aspects to what it takes to do your own video, to make your own songs, to get your shows. So and you know,
you want to know where it came from though? I'm gonna tell you where it came from, and I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I'm cheap. So you know, when I left my group and I wanted to do a video.
You are how much for what? I'm gonna do that
exactly. So I was like, yo, man, I called up the guy that did a video for us, and I was like, yo, how much did you did that video for? Like I don't know what it was at the time. It might have been like 300 or something. I can't remember, but it was something that was reasonable, whatever. And I was like, yo, did you do it for that? I was like, nah, it's like, I don't know. He might have said something like $800 or something like that. I'm like, damn, I can't really afford that right now. I don't just have that, you know, laying around. You know what I'm saying? So. You know, it was kind of like, what do they say that it's like necessity is the mother of invention. Is that how it goes?
Exactly.
And that's pretty much how it was, man. Because you know, when I went to school, because I have a bachelor's degree in graphic design, when I went to school for Full Sail, they sent a camera. They like the camera was part of the package. And never messed around with nothing like that, you know. But I was like, yo, they told us, you know, gave us these lessons and stuff. We got to go out there, take pictures and stuff like that. Yeah. And I started going out taking pictures with the camera, and I was like, yo, these pictures are really sharp, like super sharp, you know. It's a Sony camera, so it was, you know, the pictures were really good. And then it had a video feature, and I was like, oh, let me mess around with the video feature. I started doing, I was like, yo, okay, I'm still doing music. You know, at that time I was solo. I had left the group and everything like at that point. And messed around and made like a little, you know, little makeshift video, you know, and I showed a couple of homies of mine, and I was like, yeah, I got this video, man, but you know, so I showed it, whatever, and they're like, yo, that thing's all right. Yeah. I said, well, you know, it's just like a little, you know, pre-video. No, is that a music video? Yeah, it's music. Well, own it. That's a music video. Own it. You know, so I was like, okay. So, you know, that's where the video thing kind of grew, you know, and I started learning, and over the years, I've been doing it for years now, but it just, you know, it was just the love for it. It's just like, wow, I can do this myself. You know, I don't have to, you know, man, would you please, man, can you, no, I can just do it myself. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah, that's what a lot of the things that I do, man, is just kind of like, well, you know, if I can't get this person to do it or whatever, you know, or if I can't afford this or that, I just do it myself. And I just be, you know, it's a gift too, because, you know, I'm lucky enough to be able to do these things that have the skill and talent to be able to do these things. Because if I didn't, I would, you know, I don't know where I'd be. I don't know, knocking on doors. Hey, man, can you do this for me? Yeah. Or can you give me the hookup, man? Come on, man. Like, I know years, man.
And I commend you on that, because I tried to DJ. I got tables, couldn't do it. I was like, I ain't got the mixing ear or whatever they got. Making beats. I tried for a second. God damn, that shit takes forever. Like, I just can't sit there for 8 hours, 12 hours. Well, and Slappy even says sometimes they take months or weeks, you know.
I tell you what, you might want to look back into that, because like back in the day, like when I was doing beats and stuff, man, you actually had this is no shade on anybody. You had to have talent to make beats back in the day. You had to have talent, because you had to sit there and play, and you know, play the keys or whatever like that, or get your samples and sample and learn how to sample. And you had to you know, what am I thinking about? You know, like I said, play the keys, learn the drum machine, learn, you know, make, you know, the patterns and stuff like that. Man, today they got, man, It's like
kicks.
puzzles nowadays. All you got to do, all you got to do is put this piece here, put this piece here. You got a beat. You know what I'm saying? It's literally how it is nowadays. You got a computer and you got like some of these apps. Put it.
And
together.
you know what's funny? Every single one of them wants some kind of money for that shit. I'm like, man, come on. Like every producer now is like, you got $100 for a beat, or $200 for a beat, or $300 for a beat. I'm like, are you famous? Like, why am I famous?
Right?
Why am I paying? I'm not. We're trying to get somewhere together. Like, why do I, want to buy your beat when? Anyways,
some of these beats are good though, but you got to pay the price. But go ahead.
We're gonna refocus because you said something earlier, and I wanted to ask you a question about it. And you said that when you watch Michael Jackson and the Motown 25, was that the moment, like in your head, like I'm gonna do this. This is what I want to do. Like I'm gonna go in this direction. I want to do what he's doing.
You know what? That's a good question. Like I said, I think that was the spark for me. Like the initial, seed planted in my head. Like, wow, this is really great. You know what I mean? I think it was in the beginning, it was more admiration for what he was doing, and it was just like in awe of like, oh my God, this guy is just like, he's incredible. He's magic. But I think over time, as certain other things was happening, but like I said, when I got older, in like high school, when I started playing around myself, and you know what, I think, to be honest with you, I think it was when the group started coming out, man. Like, when Jodeci first hit the scene, H-Town, and I wanted to be them, you know what I'm saying? 112, I wanted to be those guys, I wanted to be in the group and, get the ladies, you know what I mean? And just be on there doing my thing. I think that was where for me it was really like, I want to do this, like I said, when the group started coming out and I wanted to be in a group, and then this looked like so much fun, and I loved writing songs, I loved singing and stuff like that, so it was a no-brainer. You know what I mean?
Well, one more question about your artistry. Now I remember when I first started, like I started writing a rap to this guy's beat, right? And it was just my first time sitting down and writing bars out and rhyming, and it was probably really like, whatever, like on that low level, beginner level writing. But I was able to put together 16 bars with and it all kind of went to a conclusion of the verse, and the things that you can learn those things, but they come naturally sometimes. Like when the beat changes, you change a little bit, right?
Right, exactly.
You try to move with the music to keep people going, and that's something I don't think people can learn. And it's just something that naturally. Like you don't automatically know 4 bars later you should probably switch. Now, this is what I was going to ask you. When I was writing, I had some other homeboys of mine that I used to hang out with, and we all wanted to be rappers. And so I would write my verse, but I didn't realize that everyone couldn't rap. Like everyone couldn't write.
Oh, okay.
And so I would have to write all their verses and give them things to rap, because they couldn't do it. And I'm you was
ghostwriting.
I mean, my question is, like, when you realize that you could actually write the songs, and I don't know what's the word for it. The word when you put them there, arranging. Arrange your song, and bridges and hooks and ad libs and all that shit. I mean, you do that all. Now, did you have the same experience where you realized like not everybody can do this? Like they can sing, they can write the song.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. There's, what, like I'm gonna use my group as an example, where it's like almost like everybody in the group had their own talent. Everybody in the group had their own forte. There was 3 of us. Baby Boy was the big guy in the group, and he had the really powerful vocals. But he had a hard time writing. Me, I didn't have like powerful vocals. I kind of had like I had like a decent range. I have like a smooth voice. I can go high, but I couldn't go as high as he could. You know what I mean? Performing. Okay, let's put it. Okay, so performing, like it was nothing for him. Like he would get on stage and hit these big notes and everything, and I would never hear him crack. I would never hear him mess up or anything like that. There were times where I got on stage where every now and then I might crack or whatever like that. Maybe it was the nerves or whatever like that. So I always wanted to keep working on that craft of performing, and getting down tight, so I would say that wasn't necessarily my forte. I could do it, but it wasn't my forte like it was his. So that was more like his thing, where like in the studio, I'm a beast in the studio, you know what I mean? So I'll be there all day recording, like, and I'm quick with it, you know what I mean? They weren't like that. Nico in the group, the third member of the group, he was kind of like the Bobby Brown. He was the show off. You know what I mean? He was really comfortable on stage. He, get on there, he gyrate for the ladies, and just stroke a girl's hair or do all kinds of stuff like that. And again, that wasn't necessarily my thing. I was kind of like the shy guy of the group. So everybody had their thing to do. You know what I mean? We just never really found a way to like really appreciate what that other guy could do, So but yeah, man. And I forgot the original question that you asked.
No, that's cool. That's cool. You kind of moved it into, instead of talking about what you excelled at, you kind of went into one part of the whole package that you were kind of not that confident about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I know that stage performing is one of the hardest things that you can do when it comes to being an artist. And for some weird ass reason, I took to that shit like a duck in water. Like as soon as I hit a stage when I was in 9th grade, I could do it. I got the breath control down because I rap fast and I would be moving across the stage. I did a show once where it was a cover band hip hop group, and I literally put together like a full show where I'd actually go into the crowd, separate out, get this half to do one thing, get this half to do one thing, you know what I mean? And like had everybody chanting and like had the whole place involved. It was fun, man, but like I said, when it came to trying to do the beats, could never do it. When it came to try to doing like other shit that was incorporated it was just rapping. That was it. Now I have to say though, we're going to now switch to what the topic of today's show is going to be, which is R&B and hip hop. So what are like thinking back, and you were talking about some like the H-Town and the 112 and the Jodeci, like at what point do you feel that hip hop and R&B just started to make that merge?
I would say probably like early 80s, because I think we were talking about this before, where you had some of your acts that really incorporated that singing with the rapping, like who was the group that I mentioned? What was it? Kango Kid and
UTFO.
UTFO, yeah. They had songs. Now, weren't they was the group that had Roxanne, right?
Roxanne.
Yeah. So they're right there. There's some singing in there.
You
so you can kind of consider
that.
The Fat Boys, the Fat Boys are back. They had they weren't singing, but they had singing in their songs. So it was still kind of like that blend. We talked about Heavy D. Heavy D had singing in his songs. Father MC, he had singing in his songs. And man, these are some of the early artists, and I'm pretty sure there's a couple others. I think who did we say? Young MC too. Tone Loc sang a little bit. Yeah, so you had those earlier artists that were incorporating, melodies and singing in their songs, because I think they just kind of knew, like, and they were coming from an era where, hip hop was still new at that time. And, they're coming from an era where, there was no hip hop. There was this, there was all singing, balladeers, just really trying to give you that good quality music. And, R&B was big, and so it's like, all right, now you got hip hop. Now hip hop's on the scene. It's like, okay, why don't we take a little bit of that, which was so big and so popular and still is, and maybe like kind of like, let's start messing around and playing around and see if we can kind of mix the two styles together and see, what we come out of it. And a lot of great songs came out of that, man. And I'm pretty sure there's so many other like old school artists that kind of did a little bit of singing in their songs and stuff. But I think for me, and coming up in our generation or whatever, probably one of the biggest guys to do it, to mix hip hop and R&B, is Puff Daddy. He was Puff Daddy back then. He's Love now, Dr. Love or whatever now. But yeah, back then it was Puff Daddy, and yeah, he just exploded on the scene. But actually, before that, you mentioned, I actually want to let you speak on this too. Before Puff, right before Puff, there was Andre Harrell. Yeah. Speaking on that.
Yeah. And Andre Harrell was the CEO of Uptown Records, and Uptown had a lot of those classic artists that had blended the R&B and hip hop, which was like your Heavy D. Heavy D, like right away was kind of doing it himself, and Heavy D actually sang a little bit, right? Like he actually had some singing in there. And don't get me wrong, but I think there was a crossover with I'll Be Sure, because I want to say I'll Be Sure was on Uptown also. And
I
but
think he
I'll Be
was.
Sure didn't rap, but I feel like he was the beginning of where R&B was catering to the hip hop urban sound. So night and day had because even the video, he's like in the streets, walking around, singing.
It was a hip hop influence there. Yeah,
it was hip hop influence, but he was singing the whole time. And of course, you mentioned P Diddy, and P Diddy was Andre Harrell's intern. I mean, so Diddy is like watching and seeing this blueprint of success when it came to combining these two things, like these two art forms that are really in the streets are like similar, because you had your Rick James, you had your Prince, you had your Michael Jackson, but and that was the sound of the culture of the urban environment, your funk, like you were talking about, your jazz band, man, as much as I know that the dude from who sings Word Up, which group is it? Cameo.
The Cameo, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, is he singing or is he like?
That's a good question. That's a good question. That's a real good question.
Around the world.
Yeah. And you know what? I've never thought about that until this very moment that you said that. Was he singing or was he kind of rapping or
was he kind of rapping? Yeah. And he would hate on they all hated on rap because they thought, well, they're not doing anything but just, they would make fun of it.
Right.
But eventually it's that urban environment, that city environment, that street environment that really kind of those two art forms were moving through that lane. So eventually they're going to merge. You know what I mean? They're going to start getting on the same page because people want to hear it. So I would say Heavy D for me. And there's probably multiple others that we just were
I know missing. I know there's probably more we're leaving out, but yeah.
But we'll get into the Diddy part of it because he to me is the one that actually full blown just took it. With the sampling,
next level
sampling, just full blown. Didn't even chop it up. He didn't put the whole record down. It's just juicy.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just juicy instrumental with a rapper.
Yeah, right. Yep. Biggie, go.
Let's wrap up this. Wait, is there gonna put some drums over this? So just play the record and rap.
Yeah, it's good how it is. Let's go.
And it worked. It worked.
Yeah. Big time to work.
You mentioned Murder Inc. And so when it came to those days, I mean, were you more partial to the Murder Inc. than you were to the P Diddy sound, or did it all kind of just? And did you like it, even as somebody who's just strictly doing R&B at the time? Like, were you going, oh man, why these rappers trying to get up on our stage, man?
Well, I tell you one thing, man. No, I loved it all. If it had a good beat and a nice melody, then I was all in. But I think that's what it is too. I think they figured out, they cracked the code because they was like, man, I got this hot ass hip hop song. But if I put a singer on there, that singer kind of takes it up a couple notches, and then brings in a different crowd too. Because a lot of times with hip hop, a lot of times it's, especially in the beginning, it was bravado and all that stuff, So it wasn't necessarily. I mean, ladies, I'm pretty sure loved hip hop, but I think it was kind of like in the beginning, it was kind of like a guy's thing almost. But when you bring in infuse that singer into it, now you can bring the ladies, say like I don't know. It could have been like Method Man or something like that. And then once you get Mary on the track, it's a rap. It's a rap. Yeah.
Now Method Man is a sex symbol. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Because he's showing vulnerability. you know,
Right.
and Mary brought him, you know, right to the forefront of the ladies are like, oh, okay, I didn't know who
Yep.
this Method Man was, but this song is hot. I mean, LL
Exactly.
Cool J,
Busta Rhymes and Janet Jackson.
Busta Rhymes and Janet Jackson for real. Let's see, Busta Rhymes, Janet Jackson. I mean, Big Pun.
Mariah Carey.
Big Pun had that song with Donnell, Still Not a Player. You know,
it was originally, wasn't it originally with Joe? I think, was it Joe that
it was
originally
Joe.
sang the hook?
Yeah, it was Joe. Yeah,
and then the remix I think was Donnell Jones. Still Not a Player.
Yeah, Still Not a Player.
If I remember that correct, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's so many artists that have done it. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I started to see that R&B started emulating the hip hop fashion.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that was real 90s stuff with hats, you know, like literally, you know, big ass hat just like to the side with a giant jersey on, you know, gold chains everywhere, platinum. I'm sorry, platinum. That was the night. Platinum, platinum chains with diamonds, but like the baggy clothes. And I remember I went to see 112, and you know, back in the day, like you're right, artists would cater to female, so there'd be a lot of more female in the crowd. Then I started noticing when I would go see R&B artists, there was a grittiness in the room that was kind of hard, like a rap concert. You know, we were real street people, and like street, you know, like just hard. And I was like, I remember I went to see him. I was like, there was groups of girls I was afraid of. I was like, God damn, these girls look like they'll fuck me up.
But
I mean, but they had this hip hop vibe to them. You know, and I'm using 112 as an example because that's the one group that I really liked a lot that I went to go see in a nightclub. So it wasn't even like a concert; it was like a small stage nightclub, which was dope. But I remember the feeling was super hip hop, and even their beats. What's the
Only You with Biggie on it?
No, yes, but there was another one that had that. Oh my God, I'm not even gonna try to sing it, so just forget that. Let's just move on.
Did they have a rapper on it, or was it the first album, second album, or?
It's the one where it's like, I will do it to you. How much you care for me.
Was that the one? The one that they had like the Mobb Deep? They had like a Mobb Deep.
It had the Mobb Deep beat to it. Yeah. Like, And I remember they came out to that song, and I was like, oh my God. And their dance moves were just on point. You know, it was just smooth. It was just smooth. But the reason I got into that is just to kind of talk about how R&B started to emulate hip hop, and I think hip hop started to emulate R&B at the same time because rappers started trying to sing. You know, you know, rappers were trying to do their own hooks and shit especially now with fucking auto tune. You know what I mean?
Oh man, everybody's doing it now. But like in the very beginning, well, I mean, like we said, there's been rappers that have been doing it like over time since the 80s and stuff like that. But you know, when we talk about like when the music genre started exploding, you know, you had Ja Rule. I remember he was one of the main ones. Like he was huge at one point in time. You know, and he was singing like his own hooks. He would get, you know, he would get Ashanti on the hook, and he would get, you know, other female artists on the hook too. But you know, he would actually sing his own hooks. You know, you know what I mean? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's right.
Right. So he was singing, and you know, I remember that whole, not to get off topic, but I remember 50 and Ja Rule was going at it because 50 was saying, "Oh man, all you doing is singing on your hooks." But then he started singing on his own hooks.
He started doing the same shit. Yeah,
he started doing the same thing. Yeah, because the formula works. The formula works. Why break it? You know what I'm saying? If you got a hip hop song and you got an R&B artist on the hook, 9 times out of 10 it's out of here. You know what I mean? It's out of here. It's gonna be big.
You know, let's give credit where credit is due, okay? Because one of my idols is LL Cool J. He is my idol.
Oh yeah.
LL Cool J's "I Need Love" is, I believe, where rappers realized they could show a softer side.
that might be the song. That might be the song that actually turned the whole thing around.
Well,
you know, because
sometimes I stay
exactly, because he caught a lot of flack for that back in the day. He caught a lot of flack for that.
He did, and you know what? I was just reading an article about that, like maybe 2 or 3 days ago, where they were talking about how he did that song, and people were like, "What are you doing? Like, are you kidding? What is this?
Right.
What am I listening to? Like, this is soft as hell, you know?"
Exactly.
And so I was like, no. I mean, I know that song word for like bar for bar. I could sing the whole thing, bro. And it's because LL's my idol mainly because everything he did back then was just gold to me. I'm bad, man. All that. But I mean, he was also I'm bad, you know, and you know, came out super hard, you know.
That's why everybody was so shocked when he came out with that song.
Then he comes out with that. But he had a song prior to that that didn't get as much play called I Want You. And it was on the first album, and it was similar, but he's rapping more. It wasn't as melodic as I Need Love was. That's why I think that it was almost sing-songy the way he was rapping it. You know, see what I mean? I've changed. I'm no longer a playboy on the run. I mean, so he's like he's not. See what I mean? I've changed. I'm no longer. He was not doing that. He's melodically
he's really smoothing it out. Right,
smoothing it out, and I think that's what gave everybody the thumbs up to go ahead and do your softer side stuff. You know, what's that?
He literally took one for the team.
So, okay, with R&B, hip hop, I know we're talking a lot about East Coast. Well, now I want to just kind of talk a little bit about Nate Dogg. You know, rest in peace, Nate Dogg. I mean, he doesn't get his flowers when it comes to what he was bringing to the game. But if you think about his catalog, like he would body people in verse. If a verses came and he was still alive, and they were like, "What Nate Dogg has been on that we forgot all about," you know?
Right.
I mean, I was like, dude, Nate Dogg was on so many massive regulators, you know, regulators. I mean, well, you know,
R&G.
You know, I got hoes.
Ludacris. Ludacris on everybody's joint.
Fabulous. You remember? I can't deny it. I'm a straight rider. He was doing that.
I forgot about that one though. I forgot.
That's what I'm saying. Like. He doesn't get his just due, man. He and you know I believe that he was a huge contributor to the R&B sound from the West, coming from the West Coast. You know, single-handedly, because I can't even name another person that I could. That we kind of mentioned Danny Boy when we were talking about the show yesterday, but I mean. Yeah, he did a few things.
But there's no comparison. No comparison to the stuff that he's done.
I mean, he literally Nate Dogg, and then there's just people that we don't remember what they did from the West Coast shit. You know,
exactly. He kind of ran that whole thing with R&B hooks.
And you know, I do want to say that you know what we're talking about now with Tarius's Rhythm and View show. Y'all got to go check it out. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna play a commercial for Tarius's show, and so I'll let you guys see what it's about, and then you guys can check it out, subscribe, comment, like. You know, let's get him some more followers, some more subscribers to YouTube. You know, you get to hang out with Tarius once a week.
Absolutely,
and
absolutely,
yeah.
What's good, R&V family? I am your host, Tarius. This is Rhythm and Views. And caress that like button, baby. It's like a booty. Yeah.
So that's the commercial, man. So what's up?
Yeah, that's the show. That's the
Yep.
show. That's the show.
Yep.
So y'all need to come check it out, man. If you want to have a good time, you want to laugh a little bit, you want to be entertained, you want to and check out some great brand new artists that you never heard of. You might even find your new favorite. Because like I said, we play independent music on there. We'll play even if you're watching this right now. If you want to get your song submitted and you want to be played and critiqued or whatever, send it into rhythmandviewsshow@gmail.com and we'll get it on for you because it's just that simple, because like I said, we're trying to build a community over there where we're shining a light on everybody and just because it's hard to find platforms. I mean, it's not as hard as it used to be because everybody with a computer nowadays can just do whatever they want to do, but a place that all people can come, like all artists can come and kind of support each other. That's kind of like what we need. We need that support. So that's what we're doing over there. Yeah.
Cool.
We have a good time.
Okay, so to book in, talking about early influences, talking about our 90s, which is where me and you were really out there grinding hard, trying to get record deals and shit like that, which don't even exist anymore. You know what I mean? I said, please listen to my demo. Like, do they even do demos anymore? Like,
like we was out there selling CDs, so like shoot, they don't
CDs
do that anymore.
On the street. I remember, man, those songs were dope. Send me another demo. 4 more songs I got to do. Do another demo. You send it to the record label. Yeah,
exactly.
Those songs is dope. Can you send 4 more? I'm like, Jesus, like, really? I mean, but I get it. They were looking to see if you could continue to make good songs. But
exactly,
the struggle was real, man. So to book in this, I want to ask. And I'll talk a little bit about it too. We're not going to talk too long. We're getting to the to that wrap up point, but I do want to just get to like today, R&B, 2022. Like, who's your favorite? What do you like? What do you don't like?
That's my boy from the group calling me right now. Okay, so you said who do I like now? Yeah. Okay.
Who do you like? And we won't go dislike because we don't hate on people, but what do you like and what don't you like? Because there might be certain aspects to the way that they do their thing now that you probably are like, I don't know if I'm with that. Like maybe auto tunes. I think that was my thing where I was like, are you really singing or are you just letting the computer sing? Because then anybody can do that shit.
Yeah.
Away from real singers.
And some of the people I might that I'm going to name are probably not brand new, but I like Bryson Tiller. He's cool. Bryson Tiller's cool.
Yeah.
There's another guy. I can't think of his name right now. It keeps popping in my head and then it keeps leaving. I can't. Tory Lanez. He's all right. He's okay.
Yeah,
he's okay.
He's cool.
I mean, of course, Chris Brown, but like I said, he's not brand new. But I like Chris Brown.
He's not brand new, but he's still going.
Yeah, he's still absolutely relevant. Let's see. There's not too many. Eric Bellinger, but a lot of people don't know about him. He's kind of underground.
Yeah.
Great. He's absolutely fantastic songwriter. But let's see who else. I mean, I like Silk Sonic, but like I said, that they're a new group together. But Bruno been around for years. As Anderson .Paak, I think, has been around for years too. But yeah, there's not too many.
But I would consider that new. I would consider that 2022. I mean, they're at the height right now. You know what I mean? Yeah, they've been around, but they're grinding.
Right.
What about her? You like her, female artist?
Yeah, her is dope. Yeah, her is very dope. Yeah, she she kind of reminds me of like a female Prince. Because she can sing, she can write, she can arrange, she can play instruments. She got the whole
the stage show. She's my favorite. I never can pronounce her name. It's Jhené Aiko.
Yeah, she's got a really smooth voice. I like her too.
And her
Jasmine
writing,
Sullivan.
And her writing, you gotta trip off. Like, listen to her album because she's writing because she has a similar like style on all the songs, and I'm like, damn, her writing is beautiful, man, and she's beautiful. Let's not go there.
Definitely is.
Yeah,
definitely is. Definitely is. Yeah.
Okay.
Jasmine Sullivan, she's a beast.
Yeah. Yes.
Jasmine Sullivan. Yeah.
Yep.
And Luke James. I mean, there's a couple of them out there because Luke James, he's one of those artists that I don't think he really gets like real accolades that he deserves, because he's really good too. He's a really good singer. But he's been in acting and stuff. Like, if you remember, you saw the new edition, the biopic or whatever, right? The documentary,
I started
watching
it. I started watching it. And Bobby Brown got one on right now. Like, that's on.
Yeah.
I'm
gonna check that out too.
That one. I'm trying to watch that one, but I don't know, man. That one is just. It was hard to get through the first episode. I didn't know he lost his son too. He lost his son, a daughter, and his wife.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know how he does it, man. I don't know how he does it.
He's a recovering addict trying to stay away from it, and you got all this pain. I just sat back and thought, this dude has been through so much, and people were hating on him for a while. They acted like he was the problem,
Yeah, true. They did do that, absolutely.
And for what it's worth, when it comes to drugs, like, maybe somebody introduces it, but it ain't like Whitney wouldn't have came across cocaine somewhere else. You know what I mean? Like, that cocaine in the industry is like chips at a party. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. They said that that it wasn't him that influenced her. Like, she'd been doing that stuff before he came along. But she had that squeaky clean persona. And that's why people didn't want to believe it. And I don't know her personally. I don't know anything about her personally. But that's that's what I've heard, is that that she had been messing around with some stuff way before he even came along. So yeah.
So okay. Last but not least, the mixture of hip hop and R&B, or I would say singer, Doja Cat. I know you spent some time. I know you spent some time on Doja. You covered Give It To Me, or whatever, that one song she's got.
Yeah, there was that one, and then she's got another song, Woman, yeah. And then there was another song that she did. I mean, Doja's big right now. Doja's big. Like, she is the selected, artist that they chose. That, it's crazy where she started too. Like, that crazy. You ever see that video she had on YouTube where she was in the cow and it was a song called
Blue? Bitch, I'm a cow.
Yeah, crazy. Yeah, crazy. It's like, what? Are you serious?
You ever watch her TikToks, bro? She's fucking nuts.
No.
Follow her on TikTok and you will understand that Doja Cat is fucking crazy. Like, she does some funny as fuck, but sometimes you're like, dude, you're weird. Like, she's weird.
But that stuff will get you notoriety now. Obviously, look, she's one of the top artists today. Look at the video. Who would you ever think, if you watched that video back in the day, whenever it came out, that moo cow thing, whatever like that, would you ever think that she'd be one of the number one selling artists in the country, maybe even the world?
No.
I wouldn't either, but that's the world we live in. And I'm not saying she's not talented, but
I thought it was incredibly well done, as far as like whatever she was trying to get from it, with the streams and the lights and people showing look at this girl with the cow suit, bitch, I'm a cow, like I see her grind, and she did what she had to, and now I think she's showing what she's really capable of with this latest album, because I don't know there's a song on there. Oh my God, I just couldn't stop playing the fucking song. Shit, I can't stop playing it, but now I can't even remember the name.
I'm the same way, man. I love so much music, but I can't remember the titles. I don't know what the hell.
Anyways, but that's not the point. The point is Doja Cat.
How many singles does she have? Like, right now, she got probably 15 singles.
It's literally like the whole fucking album is like gonna be on the radio. I mean, it's
right.
And this is gonna sound sacrilegious. It's not a Thriller, but Thriller was one of those albums that every song was on the radio. I'm not comparing.
Okay. From that perspective, I see what you mean.
No.
Yeah.
It's like if I'm gonna be real, there's only a few albums out there that I could compare to Thriller, which would be Purple Rain. Right? They're completely different, but almost every single song on there was a major smash hit. Video and all. We're not comparing Doja to no Michael or no Prince yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, we might.
I had to save it because I didn't want everybody to come looking for you and stuff like that.
Not at all. All right. Well, I'm gonna see if I can get Tarius to commit. Because I feel like you almost touched on something that we didn't get into this time, so we need to probably develop another episode where we talk, man. Because Tarius is, unlike Slap Turner, me and Tarius be getting down on some conspiracy theory. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, yeah.
We can have a whole show on this shit.
Yeah, we good. Yeah, we good. Yeah,
you know, we gotta be real.
It goes deep.
You know, we gotta be kind of like, cause we get into some deep shit. You know,
you do the mouth, I'll do the eyes.
You know, cover make our voices sound like this when we talk.
Yeah, right.
We're gonna be talking about like he was saying, what you guys didn't grab is he said she's the chosen one. What does that mean? You know, because that
I did slip and say that, didn't I? I did slip.
You did say she's the chosen one, right? And I'm thinking, see, this is world. Now I feel like I want to take it that way, but you know, we already at that hour mark, you know, so we might have to just have a whole conversation based on like hip hop and R&B conspiracy theories. And I'll put it together. You all have the list of shit that we I'll let you see them and you research them and we can talk about this shit.
Yeah, and we'll have to put out there, hey, look, don't hate on us. This is just our thoughts. This is what we believe. If you don't like it, that's fine, but this is what we believe.
We're not saying this is real, but...
And you know what, too? Like, when we get into it, we're not going to get into it now, but, you know, you've been in the industry, I've been in the industry. I'm pretty sure you've heard some stories of, hey, man, there was some weird stuff going on here. I've heard this. I've heard stories, too. So, you know, we can talk about that, too.
No, that's what I'm saying. All right, so cool. We got the buy-in. We'll be seeing Tarius again soon. But again, we're gonna go like, subscribe, comment, go over to Rhythm and View Show, like, subscribe, comment, check out his catalog. He's got lots of great. He's got lots of shit. He's been doing this for how long? About a year now? 2 years?
What's that? The show. I'll say about a year. I think maybe about a year or so, something like that.
So he's got tons of content, and he does a lot of cool ass interviews and showcasing, you know, new artists, all that stuff for real. Like, you know, we just bullshitting and talking right here. He's doing more like reviews and like getting down.
You might even see Mad on my show. You might even see him on my show. So that's how we doing that. It's confirmed right here.
All right, episode 11 in the books. Peace.
Hold it now. I just came to motivate. Mad slap to bob your head and elevate. Mad slap get you to participate. Mad slap in being part of something great. Mad slap I just came to motivate. Mad